Hey guys, Heidi Easley here and my friend.
Stu McLaren.
Sorry, I put you on the spot there. Okay, so we're really excited because we're going to spend the next 30 minutes or so just answering your questions. And we have so many questions. I did a post in a group and said, hey, do you want to ask Stu something? And so many questions came in. So what I was hoping, Stu, because Tribe is open, right? So they can sign up between now and Thursday. And that is it until when? When's the last time they can sign up?
Thursday at midnight. And the reason that's important is because we host the Tribe Experience one time a year. This is it. And the reason we host it one time a year is because we're all in. Every single day, I am showing up live to help support our Tribers. And so it's an intense process for us, which is why we do it one time a year. But this is my favorite time of the year, is helping business owners launch recurring revenue and memberships. And so the registration deadline is Thursday at midnight.
Yeah, I know. I'm so excited. I was doing a live last night and I was like, y'all, I have to unapologetically share Stu with you. I said, what you have taught me has totally changed my family's life. And I even kind of got teary-eyed yesterday because I thought about how it's really changing Pixie's life, which is so crazy. She's my 14-year-old. And the things that I think of, just 3 years ago that weren't possible in her life are now possible because of what I've learned through this. So I just want to say thank you so much for showing up. I know it's a lot. I know by Thursday you'll probably be losing your voice. Hopefully not. So I know you do a lot, and I know people are very excited.
I got my singer spray to make sure that my voice kind of stays intact. I'm doing all the things, the teas, the sprays, the things to keep my voice there. But the reason I love this is because I'm passionate about it and the impact it does have. And Heidi, I know you give me credit, but I want to take a moment and let's just also look at the fact that, you took what you were learning and put it into practice. And it started with, was it 58 or 68 founding members?
We have a joke between me and all my pay party people. I'm like, does he get the number right? It's 58.
It's 58. Okay. Yeah. So it's 58. And I just think of like what's happened since then, and like how each year you've just progressively added more and more, welcomed more and more people into your world because you've gone deeper and deeper in your level of mastery of what it is that we're teaching. And the results of that is like fast forward 3 years and you're more than 2,000 plus members, which is amazing. And I think about like the impact of that. It's not just like the impact it's had on you and your family and Pixie and your business, but I think of all of those people in your membership that you are impacting and serving. And this is what I love, is a membership gives us the ability to scale the impact, to be able to reach more people, help more people. And you are a perfect example of that. And it's just been beautiful to watch.
Oh, well, thank you. And I continually learn, y'all. Like I always tell them, I'm like, never be in a place where you feel like, learned it all, because that's where things are going to get rough. So let's go ahead and start answering some of their questions. So I have several questions. We'll do rapid fire because I know you have other places, but I'm just so grateful for your time. And I want to just say, I told them, I was like, I'll give them a shout out. I'll say their name on there and then have the question. So Kim Rose says, I joined Tribe and can't wait. Yay, Kim, I'm so excited for you. She says, I am wondering about doing my founding members launch. Should I wait until I have Tribe under my belt or launch before I am done? What would you say?
That's a great question. I mean, I think you can do it either way and you're not going to go wrong in how you move about it. What I will tell you is that inside of Tribe, there is a bonus where we go in depth on the founding member launch. So I unpack the 5 stages in further depth. And not only that, but we provide you scripts and templates to make it a little bit easier to be able to obviously deploy your founding member launch. So it might be an advantage now that you're in just to wait until you have access to that, which should be right away. I think if not, it'll be available for you on Monday when we kickstart the whole program. But bottom line is that I think the templates will certainly help make it a bit easier for you. But the reality of it is like so many people have experienced so much success in the past week with just taking what we shared during the free workshop. I just got a message this morning that somebody else has they've welcomed 170 members in their founding member launch, like right out of the gate.
What?
Craziness, right? Like it's been so fun and rewarding to watch people just get out of their own way and just get into action. So yes, founding member launch, it works. You can use it with what you have learned thus far. But as I mentioned, in the bonus, we go into further depth and give you scripts and templates to make it easier.
Oh, that's awesome. And hey guys, hey Tiffany, hey Wendy, hey LaRonda. Oh, LaRonda says, I joined last night. How do I make sure it's under Heidi's link? Oh, thank you, LaRonda. Yeah, if you the link is right there. And yeah, all you have to do is use the link that we have in the description to sign up.
Yeah, and Heidi will see that. And then not only that, but like if you have any questions at any time about that, and you just want to ensure that Heidi, certainly gets credit for that, just email partners@tribehub.com. Partners@tribehub.com. And Matt, who's on our team, will help ensure that Heidi gets the credit for you joining, so you can get
the bonuses. I have some really cool bonuses.
Yeah.
Okay, so Erica Smith asked, she says, so this was through a text. So I text people too, and she says, I'm so bummed and I'm terrified. I'm battling in this right time. Do I need to wait or just do the free workshops and build momentum? I've literally prayed all day. How could I possibly do that much when I'm just beginning? How do I not invest in myself and have a booming blessing waiting? This is my brain. Ha ha ha. What would you say? Because, we have a very creative, a lot of artists are watching right now. And our brains don't stop. They just go, go, go. So what would you say to Erica?
Well, what I'd say to Erica is Erica, I don't take it lightly that in many people's case, this is going to be the most they've ever invested in themselves and or their business. And I don't take that lightly. This is why we pour our heart and soul into this experience, because we want and we obsess over helping you experience progress, bottom line. And so we're all in. But what I would tell you is that if it's going to put you in a compromising financial situation where you can't keep a roof over your head or food on the table, do not sign up. But if it's going to stretch you, I 100% want to encourage you, because it's all about getting creative. It's about asking a different question. It's about asking how could I make this happen? How could I generate $397 before Thursday to be able to get started with this? And Heidi, I remember this was a conversation. This was the conversation you had, right? When you registered for Tribe those years ago?
Yes, this makes me so excited because I remember, so my husband was like, no, I don't think you should take this. And he's always been so supportive. And he's like, I just don't think you should take it. And I'm like, let's have a deal. I was like, if I come up with the money by Sunday, that means that, we should do this. And so he's like, okay, haha, yeah, right. Thinking I wouldn't do it. And the very next day, I got creative. And here's the funny thing, y'all. Yes, when I was spending that money, when I was checking out on that page, which many of you have already done so far, I remember being so excited and so terrified, just like Erica is saying in here, at the same time. But I knew, I always look at life, what do I want to happen in 5 years? And I always look at life in 5-year buckets. And I'm like, okay, what do I want to happen in 5 years? Let me make steps towards that goal. And so whenever I, bought it and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did this. Now looking back 3 years on what you have taught me, obviously I still had to take action, but what you have taught me now looking back at that investment of $2,000 based on what has happened with over 2,000 members, it almost seems silly, and it was crazy because me and the creative club, that we were messaging the other night at your webinar, and we were all getting teary-eyed watching your webinar because, you were showing stories of us, and we were like, oh my gosh, we remember 3 years ago, not even knowing each other yet. And then watching that webinar, being terrified, getting that credit card out, making that purchase, and then going, oh my gosh. And we were I'm getting chills now thinking about it because now we've bonded and these are some of my best friends. And I think, oh my gosh, if I wouldn't have taken that risk or that chance, entrepreneurship is always going to be a risk, but I will always bet on myself every single time. So it was crazy.
Well, it is so much fun to look back on the progress that has happened. And it started with that decision. And even before that decision, it was about you getting creative and asking a different question, how could I earn that money before that time? And I think what that does is it turns your brain on. It turns your brain on to find answers. And the last thing that I ever want is for people to put off the thing that they know they should do. Because at the end of the day, because of the nature of recurring revenue and memberships, it is, think about this, for 8 members, there, eight members in total, 8 members at $25 a month.
Mm-hmm.
It's all it takes for this to be able to, for you to be able to see a return on this. And the reason I say that is because of the nature of memberships. It's, 8 members in your membership paying $25 a month over the course of the year, it pays for itself. And the question to ask is, do you think you're going to get an idea or two that will help you welcome 8 new members into your membership? Yeah, you're going to get a whole lot more ideas that are going to help you welcome a whole lot more than 8. But if that's all it does, then it's paid for itself. And that's why memberships are something that I am so passionate about and believe that every business owner should have, because it is a compounding asset. And so I just think back to that decision that you made, Heidi, which was like, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure it out. You did. You made it happen. And fast forward, like, oh my gosh, look what has transpired because of it.
Yeah. And it's so crazy too, because, I know we've talked about this before. I made that decision in May. By August, I was ready to quit. And my husband, who was the same person that wasn't sure about it, was like, nope, you are all in. Like, totally, and I'm so grateful he did that, because, he knew that we were going to get overwhelmed. And that's what I like to tell people: when you sign up for something like this, there's going to be times when you're like, oh my gosh, can I really do this? And so I want you to know that that's totally normal. That's a part of learning something new, and especially stuff that we're not comfortable with yet, but it does get better.
And that's what the beauty of the community, where the community comes into play, right? Like, as you said, you found some of your best friends in this community. And that's what it's all about. It's about, being on this journey with others who are, on the same journey together. And we support each other. We cheer each other on. And when we have those moments of self-doubt and fear and anxiety of like, I don't know if I am qualified to do this. I don't know if this is going to work. Will people even buy? When you have those moments, because we all do, that's where not only myself, but the community is there to pick you up and keep you moving forward. And that's the whole goal, is just to keep you moving forward. In fact, I wore my shirt this morning. You've got this. You've got this. But you got to keep moving forward. And you got to take that first step. And so, I'm excited, because I know that there are a whole lot of people who have registered. As we're starting to see, like Crystal's been working on all the everybody's starting to go up. But as I know that there are people who, are feeling that fear. And I just want you to know, we got you. We got you. We've gotten really, really good at helping you experience progress with your membership. And because of the nature of what we teach, it is a compounding asset that continues to grow year over year over year. And that's what this process is all about. It's not a one-time quick hit. It is all about that long-term growth. And that's what's going to happen when you come join us.
Yeah, I'm excited. So we opened the doors to Paint Party headquarters. It's our 3-year anniversary on May 16th. So I cannot wait to give you new updates with that. We're really excited. So we have Leslie. She signed up. She's both excited and nervous. Congrats, Leslie. And we're so Dawn says, I've already created an accountability group. That is amazing. So let's go ahead and go to Monica's question. She says, I have launched and have 10 founding members. How long do you recommend keeping your membership open for founding members? And she is excited to be a new tribe member. Welcome, Monica. So how long do you recommend keeping her membership open for founding members?
Yeah, great question. And by the way, congratulations and welcome. I can't wait to get to know you inside the group. So typically, I wouldn't go any longer than a week. I like to actually keep it shorter than that, depending on, what your comfort level is. But, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. But I would never go longer than a week is when you would cap it off. And you've got welcome 10 founding members, which is amazing. And obviously, once you have a deadline, there will be more that will come and join. But the bottom line is like, that's an amazing start, because now you can pour into those people and focus on helping them make progress with what it is that you are sharing and teaching. And you're going to learn so much of how to dial in the membership experience to serve those people, and the stories of their progress will fuel the growth of your membership in years to come.
Yeah. And 10 people, that's amazing. That's awesome. And I remember doing a boot camp before a membership, and I had 10, and I was just so excited. And I learned so much too, like you said. And Rosemary says, I only have 145 followers on my Facebook business page, and I really don't get much interaction yet. So far, my freebies have netted 1 email subscriber. I don't believe I'm in a good position to launch a membership yet. Does Stu have advice for how to increase interaction and interest on my page that would help me find my target audience? Without an engaged audience, how does one even launch a membership?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the bonuses is called instant audience. And the whole focus of that is to help you build that engaged audience. And so, yes, 100% we focus on that in the bonus. But here's what I would say. This process is about identifying, like, how do we communicate with our audience so that it does grab people's attention and they do want to be with us? Because we could have, our offer, our membership, and we can explain it in 3 different ways and get 3 completely different responses. We can get somebody who's just like, whatever, and gone. We can get somebody like, I'll save that for later. And we can get somebody and say, yes, I'm in. That sounds exactly like what I want. And it's all in the way in which we communicate it. So yes, we go into detail about your messaging and how to position what it is that you're doing. And that's all part of not only providing content to attract and engage the audience, but certainly for attracting them for a membership. So instant audience is a bonus that you'll definitely want to sink your teeth into, where it is specifically talking about how to grow and engage that audience from scratch. But more so in the actual module content as well, we dive deep into messaging and positioning yourself.
Yeah, and I always like to remind people, no matter if you're starting at ground zero or you already have an audience, you are still light years ahead of most people. If you try to explain what you are doing at a family reunion, nobody understands, because this is a new way of doing business. So I really want y'all to remember, no matter where you're at, if you're starting to invest in yourself and learn about this, you're already light years ahead.
And there are many examples, sorry, Heidi, whereby people didn't have tens of thousands or thousands, didn't even have hundreds. Like I think of Kelly. Last year, she didn't have she had 57 people in her audience, 57. But the key thing to remember is with a smaller audience, you have a unique advantage that somebody with a bigger audience doesn't have. They have a different advantage, but your advantage with a smaller audience is your ability to create that intimate interaction with people, to really get to know, like, what are they thinking? What are they feeling? Like, where are they getting stuck? And in that process of interacting with them, what will happen is you will see far higher conversion rates because people feel understood. And so that's the advantage you have, is the intimacy of those exchanges and that interaction. And that's the advantage I encourage you to use in those early stages with a smaller audience, which is why Kelly, who had an audience of 57, welcomed 29 founding members of the 57 because she had that intimate relationship. So remember, this is about identifying the strengths that you have and leaning into them no matter where you are on your journey. And if you've got a smaller audience, it's about leaning into the strength of the intimacy that you can create with that audience.
Yeah, that's so true. And y'all, I'm about to ask you another question, but for those of y'all that are just popping in, I just want to remind you, Tribe opens once a year. If you want to sign up, the link is in the description. I have a ton of bonuses if you decide to use my link, but y'all, like I said, I would be remiss if I did not share my secret weapon with you. So I have to make sure that you know about him. So he only has a few more days that he's open in Tribe, and then the door is shut for an entire year. So if you want to know more about it, put Tribe link and we'll give you the link, or it's in the description. Okay, so next question is from Cree. Okay, you ready for this?
Okay, hit me.
She says, I really feel like I am being led. I love this question too, because you gave me a tip a couple years ago and I followed it, and I'm very thankful I did. And she says, I really feel like I am being led in 2 directions. I have clients asking me about a tiered tray subscription box I had already mentioned. I know that there is money there because people keep saying, I want that. It sounds fun. But I feel a strong call from God and really need centered around the scripture. I am doing a paint and praise this weekend. I know you said at one time, I know you said 1 at a time, but can you launch 2? If not, where should I start? I need the cash flow, honestly. Let's see. There's 300 women in her area. Comment on a post on a free moms group. Okay, so there's some just other little background things I don't think you need. But the main thing I think you need is, should she launch 1 or 2 memberships at once?
One. Listen, I have been doing this for a long time, and I can tell you, you will experience more progress faster by focusing your energy on one. It's not to say that you can't launch a second or a third down the road, but in the beginning, please, 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 just focus on one, because you'll experience far more momentum. And listen, many of our people in our tribe community have launched a second, third, even fourth membership, which is awesome. And I recommend it. However, in the beginning, focus in on one. Otherwise, you're going to it's going to be too complex. You're not going to be able to create the momentum, and it's going to stall your ability to be able to get going. And my goal is to make it as simple, as easy, and as straightforward so that you experience the most amount of momentum in the shortest period of time. So start with one.
Yeah, you told me that. We were about to start a second one, and you were like, you're going to stunt your growth. Like, and I remember that. And I was like, okay, this is what Stu said. Let me just do what Stu says. And I'm so thankful I did, because then Paint Party Headquarters took off. And okay, so Dawn says, starting at 0 with this one, as I don't see it. Sorry, I don't know why I can't read today. I promise y'all I can read. Dawn says, starting at 0 with this one, as I don't see it trying in our current business right now. No list, no online audience. Could get an email list going from our current business for customers who want to participate. Feeling lost, but I'm a planner, not a jumper. This is an exception. Very passionate about everything I do. So it sounds like she's kind of like on the fence, but she doesn't have an audience. Again, is that the Insta audience?
Yeah, 100%. But I also think you do have some momentum there. Like you said, we could go out to our existing customer list, and yeah, it's about floating the idea. And not all of those customers are it's going to be a right fit for them, but there will be a percentage of them that will 100% want to join you. So to me, you do have an asset there in that list. And then again, also with instant audience, that's exactly what that whole bonus is focused on, is helping you grow from scratch, like from 0. And this is the thing. Most people think that takes a lot of, it does not take a lot of time whatsoever. And this is why I recommend doing both in parallel in terms of growing your audience and your membership. And in fact, that journey never stops. Like, Heidi, have you stopped growing your audience?
No way.
No way, right? We are doing both of those in parallel all the time. So to think that we've got to do one before we do the other is in complete contradiction to what we all do all the time to grow our business and our membership, which is we are always growing our audience and we're always focused on growing the business. So this is why no matter where you are on your journey, you want to do both simultaneously.
Yeah, I've never really thought about it that way. Because I always teach people in Paint Party Headquarters, do 2 lives a week, no matter what. And even with me gearing up for Paint Party Headquarters, I've been going live every day just to build my audience. And so I've never thought about it in that way of people saying, well, I don't have an audience, I've got to build that. Well, what are we still doing? You're always going to be doing that. It's almost like brushing your teeth. That's always going to happen in marketing.
Yeah, your audience is what, gives us the ability to serve more people, right? So if we didn't intentionally look to grow our audience on a regular basis, then we would limit our ability to in terms of who we could serve. And so it's something that no matter what size your business is at or what level or stage your business is at, you are always looking to grow your audience. It's not like you start and then it's like, oh, okay, I've got it. Now I can stop doing that and I can go. No. You're doing both of those simultaneously all the time.
Yeah, think about a restaurant. If they were like, oh, we had somebody eat here last night, never again. You still got to have people coming in. Okay, Alicia says, I'm all in. I have 2 ideas. How do I choose? I'm passionate about both.
We'll help you narrow that down, and you'll get that clarity certainly even when in the introductory module, but definitely during module number 1. It's really about helping you identify and getting the clarity of what would be the best one to move forward with, and what market would be a good fit, and what type of membership. And that clarity will come as you go through the lesson. So 100%, that is something whereby in the experience of going through Tribe, you'll begin to get that clarity.
Okay, awesome. And Carrie says, hi, Heidi. I would like to know, they're really asking you. They were just posted. And I would really like to know, could you start a launch after a month just using this program? I really need to retire as soon as I can from work.
Yeah, well, this is what's fun about this is that, so much can happen in such a little period of time. I think of, even Heidi, and I'm sure you've seen this in the community, but like 3 years ago when you joined, obviously there was a major progress that was happening inside of our community. But over the years, as we've gotten better in teaching and helping people, the speed of which people are experiencing progress has picked up dramatically. Like I think of Shelby Dillon, who did her founding member launch last year, welcomed 34 members in that. In a 1-year period of time, she's gone from 34 to 634 members, bringing her husband home from his job to work in the business. I also think of Gwen, who, started last year. She had an idea for a membership. And she actually, what's fun about Gwen is she provides patterns like, laser cutter patterns. Mm-hmm. And so long story short, she started a membership and her goal was 72 members. Well, she ended up welcoming 300. And in the last year has now grown that to 1,060 members in 1 year period of time. And so this is why I keep emphasizing, do not underestimate what is possible in a short period of time when you get out of your own way and you just get going. Because at the end of the day, tribe works. And with that said, listen, I want to manage expectations. Will sometimes things not work? 100%. Like there are going to be times when you're going to try an idea and it's not going to work, but we don't give up and we don't, internalize that like we suck or, oh, the idea sucks or the market sucks. No. It's about figuring out what part of that process didn't work, because it's not always the whole thing doesn't work. It's almost always a part of the process didn't work. And that's where the community is incredible, because we can help each other in figuring out like, what is it about that didn't work? And this is where like Heidi's back. And there are thousands of other tribe alumni who have paid to come back to be part of the tribe experience. And you're tapping into that collective wisdom. So yes, you get access to me every single day, and I'm going to be answering questions and helping you. But you're also tapping into collective wisdom of the group of people who have experience with memberships in all kinds of different markets, implementing what it is that we're talking about. And so we as a community, we just get better and better and better at being able to create recurring revenue in our business with memberships.
Yeah, I remember the first week. So I met Gretchen, and she gave me a tip on how to get paint. And just that one tip alone has saved me thousands and thousands of dollars over the past 3 years. And so I'm like, it was funny because I remember even being like, yeah, just that tip was worth it, because you end up surrounding yourself by different connections than you wouldn't have had beforehand. So I think that's really important too. Be around people that are doing what you want to, learn to do, and then just soak it all up. It's hard to be around somebody that's not doing what you're doing and then expect to grow or to learn.
Totally. Yeah. Especially like, I don't know where everybody else grew up, but I grew up in a tiny rural community, cows on one side, corn on the other type thing. So like building a business online was like the farthest thing from anybody's radar. Most of my peers growing up had farms, worked on farms. I worked on farms my whole childhood. So I'm sharing this because like it is very isolating when you're the only one trying to move forward on something that nobody else around you is familiar with. But this is why, as you said, Heidi, the community is so powerful, because you are not the only one. You are surrounded by thousands of others who are on this journey together. And that is so warming and comforting, knowing that we're going to figure this out no matter what, where we are on our journey, what challenges we might be facing. And we're going to celebrate each other, throughout the process as well, in terms of as we begin to welcome our first member. That's a big deal. The first member is a big deal, especially when it's not a relative. Like that's a big deal, and so we want to celebrate those milestones as well.
Yeah. And I think too, like a lot of y'all watching, do a shout out if you're in Paint Party headquarters. It's seriously like the way, we have those conversations and we talk about paint parties all day, every day. And, I've had people go, well, can we talk about memberships in here? I'm like, no, that's a different conversation. That's a different type of marketing. That's a totally different thing. And so I really want to encourage any of y'all that, you want to do something as a membership. Again, I always say, I'm like, he got to help Dave Ramsey. And I love Dave Ramsey. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So huge Dave Ramsey fan. And I did,
Yes.
I got a picture with him. I was so excited. He has no idea who I am, but I really Okay. So my next question from Virginia, she says, oh, Virginia signed up. Yay. She said, I'm all signed up. I have two passions, art and teaching it, but also helping women who have survived abuse, regain confidence, and live their best life. I have had an extreme passion for doing this to give back, but I just haven't found myself ready until now. Should I go in and launch my art membership first to see how everything runs, since I already have all the content and audience for that one, and then start planning the other as I go? Or leave the other on the back burner for some time until I get ready with the art one?
Well, you know where my thoughts went initially as you were saying this, Heidi, is that oftentimes we forget what of an impact we are actually having with what it is that we are providing inside of our memberships. For example, you know, the work that we get to do as a company and helping tens of thousands of entrepreneurs just like you generate recurring revenue, it's not about the membership. It's about what the membership makes possible. Heidi knows this because my love language, so to speak, is updates and results and progress from our community. And this is one of the most rewarding parts about what it is that we get to do. And you know, over the years, it's been so incredibly rewarding and amazing to watch the progress that people have as a result of what we learn. And then think about like the ripple effect of that. And the reason I'm sharing this is because we all have that same impact on our audiences. I think of one of our mutual friends, Christy Hawkins, Heidi, who a couple years ago sent me a message, one of the updates that I love to get. And she said, I just want to send you this one because this has nothing to do with like, you know, the growth of the membership, but it has everything to do with the impact of what it is that we are sharing. And, you know, inside of Christy's membership, she's teaching people how to paint. And one of her members took those lessons and were, you know, sharing the same lesson in an old age home. Mm-hmm. And that member sent Christy a picture of the smiles of all of these people in this old age home who were reconnecting with art and painting and the joy on her face. Mm-hmm. And Christy was just saying, like, I had never, ever imagined the ripple effect that sharing my art could have and how it could impact people beyond the membership. But here we are. And this is what it's about. You know what I mean? And so where my head went initially was, you know, she's talking about an art membership, which to me, that sounds like that's the low hanging fruit. That's the thing that's going to be able to help you generate a whole lot of momentum very quickly. But don't underestimate the impact that membership and teaching art will have on those women who are joining the membership. I think of, excuse me, Jennifer Chamberlain, mm-hmm. who specifically helps women over 50. And part of that is she loves to help women heal through art. And that's a huge part of the whole process. And so I think there's a way to be able to support the women that you're looking to support through the art. And so don't necessarily think they have to be two totally different things. In this case, I actually think that there's very much the potential for them to serve two purposes with one membership. But my point of the matter is I do think the art membership sounds like is the low hanging fruit because you've already got the audience and the momentum there. But don't lose sight of the impact that that's going to have on those members.
Yeah, and she is really talented too, Virginia. So I hope that helped answer your question. And Michelle says, oh my gosh, and I just got to real quick pause because you just mentioned Christy, you just mentioned Jennifer, and you know, with all of these artists, I get this question all the time, Stu, before we answer Michelle's question. Is, you know, well, y'all are already doing this. Is there not enough room out there? There's too many memberships. And I'm like, y'all, no, like, yeah. And so maybe you can speak. I've talked about it a lot, but I'm sure you have an opinion about this.
Well, we often think that we're all competing for a slice of one pie. And hear me when I say this, There is not one pie. We are in a bakery. We are baking pies left, right, and center. They are everywhere. And the reality of it is if you look at our community, like there are a whole lot of different memberships that are in the creative and art space. Like, as you mentioned, there's yourself, there's Christy Hawkins, there's Casey Hope, there's Tamara Bennett, there's Ashley Reyes, there's Jennifer Chamberlain, there's Trupti, who's over in India, there's Michelle Lloyd. Like there's all these, and guess what's happening in every single case? They are all growing exponentially year over year. And every single one of them could have said, wait a minute. This person's already done it. Nope, can't. Mm-hmm. But they didn't do that. And I think like Marisa Cummings is another great example, and these memberships all continue to grow. And the beauty about what it is that we get to do in this particular community is we believe in collaboration over competition. Collaboration over competition. And Heidi, you can speak to this, but there have been so many opportunities where you have taught in each other's memberships, you've shared each other's memberships, promoted each other, you've created stuff together. Like that's the opportunity. I think of Marisa Cummings, and she was just telling me how so many tribers in our community she has had come into her membership as guest instructors and vice versa. Like This is what it's about. And as a result of that, we all grow. This is not one pie. We're in a bakery, my friends. Lots of pie for everybody.
Yes, I love that. I mean, I was just before this interview, messaging some of my artist friends like, hey, PPHQ is coming up. Do you want to be an affiliate? Like, and everybody's like, yeah, and it's just crazy to think. That was just 3 years ago. We didn't even know each other. And so I think too, remember, as you come into this, you're going to meet new people. You're going to have new relationships formed that you're going to be able to collaborate and be accountability partners. And that in itself, oh my gosh, I think that's more meaningful to me than even, the income. I know that sounds crazy. I know the income has changed our family's life, but it's so meaningful to have those relationships that I'll have forever.
Yeah. And then I see it like Linda said here, my membership will help people paint their pets. And I just immediately thought like, oh my gosh, I just think of all the people in the tribe community who are like dog trainers as an example. Like, oh my gosh, that's a perfect collaboration, right? Like, even though, we may think like, yeah, but it's painting. No. Like there's so many opportunities to be able to collaborate with each other in creative ways. And it gets me excited.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Linda, oh my gosh, she is so freaking talented. She can do some pet portraits and caricatures. It's so good. So I'm excited for hers. And Michelle says, I did my founding members launch last week and now I have 5 members. Congratulations. It's small, but I'm super excited to have made the leap to begin. My question is, how soon after doing a founding members launch should I wait before opening doors to new members?
Yeah, I'd be patient here. Like use this as an opportunity to really get feedback and interact with your members to get clarity around like what is it that they're looking for? Where are they getting stuck in terms of moving forward with what it is that you are teaching and helping? And so be patient here. Like I would say at least a month, if not 2 months, and then use that time to also continue to build your audience, right? It's just like what we talked about. It's something that we are always doing no matter what stage you're at in your business. But the goal for you during this initial period with those founding members is to really help nail down and identify like how can you best serve them? Where are they getting stuck? What's tripping them up? Because in that process, you are going to then create an experience that is going to help more and more people get the result easier and faster. So use this time to really get to know your members and where they're at. And then, like I said, 1 to 2 months later, at a minimum, is when I would look to do it.
Okay, I got to read this and then we're going to do rapid fire. Okay, so Monica says, I received a message today from one of my new founding members who thanked me for starting my group and said it was just what she needed. It made my day. I love that.
Yes. Well, that's just it. Like sometimes like our audience, they want it. They want what they're waiting for you to be able to step into that place.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just about, having the guts and the courage to step up, and to be that leader. And Michelle says, in Tribe, will we be learning how to do challenges to help funnel into our membership?
Yeah, 100%. That's a methodology, certainly, to grow your membership after the founding member launch. So yes, we do cover that.
Okay, Carla says, I am planning a product-based membership, honey and honey products. At this moment, I am starting from scratch and have only sold at my house and a few farmers markets. I've created a Facebook group and Instagram now. I want bee education to be a big part. Would I do a private community with all my education and other information as a part of a subscription, or do it on my business page to attract members? Can't wait for Tribe to start, ready to get started. Yay, she joined.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, you know what's fun about this is I actually had, was it last weekend? No, we're on to the weekend before. I forget, I'm losing days. The weekend before, I was actually visiting with a friend of mine. His name's Vince, and his wife, Sonia, who I grew up with. Now, they actually have a business where they have been selling like mead and honey and fruits and veggies at a almost like a roadside stand, right? Mm-hmm. And then they've been growing this business, and then COVID hit, and the traffic that they would normally get from this roadside stand came to a screeching halt. And guess what they did? They created a subscription. And what Vince was telling me last weekend, he said that subscription has like saved our business, because they didn't have the traffic or the foot traffic coming through to their stand anymore, but yet they had the loyalty of those customers that were coming back and investing with them month after month after month. And that's what kept the business going. And similarly, like they believe in, education as it relates to beehives. I think they have over 500 hives that they are managing and growing each year. And so I think there's ways to incorporate the education with the actual product itself, because that's only going to deepen people's understanding and appreciation of what they are receiving from you. So I do think that there's some fun ways to potentially combine that. And I also think you could separate them. Like there's also the separation of people who are just interested in growing their own, beehive and so forth and extracting the honey. So that's a whole different type of education versus teaching the consumption of, what they are getting from you and how to, and a little bee education there. But I think there's ways to go in both directions, but I would start with what you've already got available to you, which is you've already got these physical products. So the question then is like, how could you then quickly turn that into a subscription so that customer is not a one-time transaction. It's a relationship that's ongoing. That creates stability in your business. And I think that there's many ways to structure a membership around that, which is exciting.
Yeah, so cool. I love that. Okay, so Erica says, I'm terrified yet so excited. I'm starting at zero, no Facebook page, no business page, no IG. I'm not tech savvy, but willing to learn anything and everything. How do I do a membership starting without even a business page, audience, followers, or anything? And then let's see, she says she has two things she wants to do, both hand in hand. I've never hosted a virtual lesson. Okay, so she says she hadn't done that. I have only worked festivals and craft fairs and personal parties. What's the most important things I need to start with?
Well, right now, 100%, you want to start by focusing on growing that audience, right? And the bonus instant audience is 100% the key focus point. The other side of that is when you go through both the introductory module and the foundation module, that's where we're going to talk about really nailing down who your market is, the problems they're experiencing, and how you are going to help. Because in growing your audience, you'll begin to grow that Facebook page and grow that following. You want to be speaking to the people that you ultimately want to attract. So knowing what they're experiencing, the challenges that they're having, and so forth is all going to serve you in growing that audience faster and easier than ever before. So those introductory module and the foundation module are going to be vital in terms of helping you develop the most amount of momentum in a short period of time. And realize that, again, it does not take a big audience of tens of thousands or thousands. 200 plus people is plenty to be able to get started. And there's many examples in our community of people with far less that have gotten started. So all that to say, can you start from scratch? Yes. Do we have students every year that have zero audience, zero list, zero Facebook followers? Yes, you can do this. But you got to take that first step and really just stay focused on what the primary objective is right now. And that is, beginning to grow that audience, of which we support you with inside of Tribe.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I've read this somewhere. I love Success Magazine. I think I read it in there or something, but it talked about sometimes when we start a business, especially from zero, it's almost like the naive hopelessness of it is on our side, because when we don't know and we don't focus on all those problems that are, they're going to come. And one of her comments that I didn't read here was she's just so scared and sick of failure. And I tend to teach where I'm like, y'all, you got to get used to failure. Failure is just as much a part of success as success is. Like, you have to be comfortable with it. I know it sucks at first, but it gets where you're like, oh, the faster I fail, the faster I succeed. And I think that's important to kind of have that mindset about that.
Yeah. And, Heidi, you have been amazing about this because you're willing to experiment and just try stuff. And you don't internalize it and make it like, oh my gosh, if this doesn't work, like I'm terrible, I suck. No, it's just like, okay, that didn't work. Something else. Let me try something else. And like, because I know the majority of your audience of watching and listening here, it's a lot like painting. Like, for example, like if you're sitting in front of a blank canvas and you're so scared to take and put any kind of paint down on that canvas because you're worried that it's not going to be the perfect stroke, you're just going to be sitting there staring at a blank canvas. But what do? As an artist, you experiment. You're doing a stroke here, colors here. You're going to mix here. Maybe you'll do a little bit here, a little bit. I remember when, Heidi, you led our family through a paint party virtually. And I was like, I was so paranoid. Like, am I going to screw this up? Like, we were doing this, monkey. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to mess this up. And you're just like, go, just paint. And my daughter's just like, nah, she's just doing all her thing. And that's what business is about. It's nothing more than a bunch of experiments. Now, here's a little tip that I got from my friend Ryan. And I love the way he framed this up because I think it releases all of us from a whole lot of pressure. And that is, just think of this business as a practice business. You're just practicing. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be the thing that has to work out. It's just a practice business. You're just practicing. You're trying stuff. You're seeing what works. And Simple Stew Rule 101 is do more of what works, less of what doesn't. And, we just got to keep trying and try stuff. And that's the power of this community. That's the power of Tribe is I'm going to shortcut all of the experiments and help you get nailed down to the few things that work. But even within that, like, I still want you to try some different things and make it your own. And, but what I want you to realize is that this is just a practice business. It's just a matter of just trying a few things and experiments, seeing what works and moving forward accordingly.
I love thinking of it that way. And so just like paint parties, y'all, I mean, y'all are all out there doing paint parties. And I always say, like, I like to go in and try to fail fast and figure out what works and what doesn't work. Stu has done that for you in terms of memberships. He's gone in and done the hard work so he can say, no, do this, just like how I teach you to book a paint party. I know that from many times of failing, of doing it the wrong way. So it's the same thing with membership. So we have just a couple of minutes. I'm going to do rapid fire. So let's see. Can anybody bet if Stu can answer 7 questions in under 5 minutes? Let's see. Let's bet. Can anybody bet? Let's put in the comments.
Challenge is on.
Okay. Are you ready? And I'm going to talk fast and I'm not even going to respond to your answer. I'm just going to go to the next question. You think we can do it?
All right, let's go for it.
Okay. All right. Melissa says, I'd like to know more about Searchy. Can I link it to my current website?
Yes, 100%. And we'll walk you through the whole thing. That's what's included in bonus number 2 is a workshop that takes you through the whole process of setting up your members area using Searchy. It's going to be amazing. You'll love it.
Okay. Half are saying that you can do it. Half are betting against it. Okay. Tina Tango says, I couldn't find the Grow Your Audience bonus. Can you help us find that? She actually joined Tribe.
Yes, 100%. So certain bonuses will be released at certain time based on how it aligns with the content that we're releasing in the modules. So that very much was likely the case there. I don't know exactly. I have to ask our team about the timing of that particular bonus, but that's typically what happens is certain bonuses are released at certain time to align themselves with the content that we're teaching.
Okay. Carla says, another question. Would you set a price of subscription box to price including shipping or price plus shipping so it seems lower?
That's a good question. I could, that's a longer answer.
You're on a timer.
I'm going to give my lawyer answer. That depends. Next question.
Okay. KJ has a lot of questions, but she says, I have a ton of ideas and content. Just need direction on setting it up all online. What's the best platform on how to make it all work together?
Well, I'm tremendously biased, so know that. But it's Searchy, and that is 3 months of Searchy Pro is included if you don't have a Searchy account when you join the Tribe Experience. So 100% the best platform is Searchy. This is what we use day in and day out. You'll experience it when you join the Tribe Experience, and I want you to take note of like all the little touches that we've created to enhance the learning environment for you. You'll be able to do the exact same, and our team's going to walk you through it with the bonus number 2, which is the Planet Build It workshop and Searchy.
Okay, the next question we have, I did my founding members and have 7. Yes, it's small, but I'm grateful to have a little time to get my ducks in a row. My offer was a flower painting of the month with a live teaching. There will be other painting related info sprinkled in. Question: is it best to say live class will be the second Wednesday each month at 7 p.m. or switch it up?
Yeah, don't worry about getting it perfect. Just start with something that you can get into a rhythm with, because here's the reality. In all of my experience, 12 plus years helping tens of thousands of membership site owners, I can tell you that a membership that launches is never the same 3 months later, 6 months later, 12 months later. It's always evolving. So start with getting into a rhythm and developing, consumption habits. So if that means going live and those 7 members are joining you live, great. That's awesome. Start there. It can always evolve after the fact, but don't get tripped up in trying to get it perfect. Just get it going.
Okay. Oh my gosh. 4 more questions. You think you can do it in like 3 minutes?
Let's go. I got this.
Okay. I have a business that I can turn into a knowledge-based membership, but I also have a product that I can turn into a subscription-based membership. Am I better to keep these separate? And if so, which is better to launch first?
Well, 100%, the easiest one to launch is going to be the knowledge-based membership, because they're not dealing with as many logistics as you would be with a product-based membership. So that's where I would start. And then I would look at that point, once you've got, some time underneath you with that particular membership, then I'd look to introduce a product-based membership afterwards. But 100%, the easiest, fastest, most simple route is the knowledge-based membership.
Okay. Holly says, should she do Facebook ads for a founding members launch?
You can, it's not necessary, but all Facebook ads do is amplify what you're already doing. So again, it's not necessary, but you 100% can.
Okay, when accepting members to your group, do you accept everyone or do you screen them? Right now I have questions I'm asking that includes their email. I'm doing this for information, not as a screening, or should it be done the other way around? I think this is for a free group.
Yeah, I think if you have a free group, like we have a free group and we accept everybody until, they give us reason not to, like if they start being somebody that we doesn't fit with our culture and they're being rude and obnoxious and so forth, then, we remove them. But yes, we definitely, welcome everybody into our group.
Okay. So, Dawn posted in our group, OMG on Stu's new bonus. He is so gracious. What is it? I don't even know what it is.
It's the Planet Build It workshop with the Searchy Pro, and we've never done that before. We've never added that before. This is the first year that we've ever included it, and it really, the whole intention behind it is that it eliminates the tech hurdles that sometimes trip people up. We think, oh, what am I going to do? I don't know tech. I'm not techie, and how am I going to hook this up with that up, and how am I going to accept payments? And we start overthinking things. And what I'm excited by is that for the last, since January, we've been test piloting a workshop, walking people through in a 1-week period, the process of going from no membership to having a beautiful completed membership, even if you don't like tech. And we're going to walk you through the whole thing and give you the tools, which is 3 months of Searchy Pro if you don't have a Searchy account. So you have everything you need to be able to do it. And that's why I get so excited, because we've never done this before, but I know that more memberships are going to be launched, because that's going to walk people through the process. And how good is that going to feel to have a beautiful membership at the end of that week?
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. Yeah, you did not offer that last year.
No, this is the first time we've ever done it.
That's crazy. Okay, so you made it. We have 3 minutes to spare. Everybody give him a round of applause.
You give me a goal. You give me a goal. I get laser locked in on it.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So we just wanted to bring Stu to you, answer those questions. And guys, y'all, Thursday is the deadline. So if you are excited, if you have that feeling in your gut like I did 3 years ago, and I knew I had to take this, I wasn't for sure all of the logistics, but I knew I had to do that. And it has totally changed my life. If you have that feeling, sign up. So do you want to just recap real quick in 1 minute or less what they get when they sign up?
Well, basically at the end of the day, you're getting 12 plus years of experience helping tens of thousands of entrepreneurs in all kinds of different markets, distilled down into bite-sized lessons that are going to make it simple and easy for you to be able to get started and create your membership. We have a wide variety of different bonuses that support you no matter where you are on your journey to, again, make it easier and faster for you to be able to get started. If you have no audience, we have a bonus specifically helping you get started from scratch. If you already have an established audience, it's about how do you launch quickly and easily. We've got a bonus for that. If you have trouble with the tech, we have a bonus for that specifically. Everything has been designed intentionally to help you experience the most amount of progress in the shortest period of time. And I know because I see it every single day, how powerful a membership can be for you as the business owner in eliminating the stress and creating stability and predictability in your business so that you're not hitting the reset button every month. Instead, you're carrying the momentum from one month into the next. And this is why I'm passionate about this, because you deserve to have that stability in your business, and it grows and compounds month after month. And who knows where you are right now and where you'll be 12 months from now. And as Heidi has shown, 3 years from now, you'll be looking back saying, that was amazing. So come and join us. Thursday, we close registration, and then we kickstart the whole thing on Monday, May 10th. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I'm so excited, y'all. I just cannot say enough how much I do not regret that decision, even though I was so terrified and so scared 3 years ago. And now I look back and I think, oh my gosh, I have spent that kind of money on stuff that did not help me at all. And so I just am so excited for y'all. I think it's really, really important to always have several streams of income. And I'm just happy you were here. So thanks. Go ahead and sign up, y'all. And we appreciate you, Stu. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you, Heidi. I appreciate you too. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye, guys.